They've been saying it all chat. I can't even blame them.
They should have kept saying it. We should have stopped the show.
All right. He said I make 140. He make 50K. He's 39 and I'm 33. We've been together 2 years with no change to his income. He wants to get married, but I don't feel like he's ready. Am I tripping? Yeah, we would have to get to the bottom of why you don't feel like he's ready. Is it just the money, or is it other things that he's showcasing? If he's showcasing like instability as far as his spending, or he got way too many expenses, or he be staying out too much, he go out to the club and things like that way too much, then that's another conversation. But if we just talking about money alone, then I would say the getting married part don't really have wants to get married. Yeah, I mean you just don't respect him as a man. I think that's not spoken on enough. A lot of women just don't respect a man who makes significantly less money than them. Um, and then I'd be kind of confused on whether I feel like that's a legitimate problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because it boils down to preferences,
Mm-hmm.
right? That would be just like a man saying, you know what, if I'm capable of pulling tens, I don't want to date a 4. Am I wrong for that? You know what I mean?
Nope.
So it's like, that's how I look at it. So yeah, no, I don't feel like it's anything wrong with having that issue, but I think you got to be honest about that being the reason. You know what I mean? That you don't really want to date the guy, is that you don't feel comfortable with him making that less money. And I can understand it, because from her perspective, from a woman's perspective, it's like one day I might get pregnant. One day my hormones might be all over the place and I may want to stop working, or I may need to stop working. Can you sustain this lifestyle that we build if my money accounts for 75% of it? You know what I mean? It's just like, if we live in $140,000, pardon me, a $200,000 lifestyle, and you make 50,000, I can't take no break. You know what I mean? I can't take some time to raise the kids or whatever. Like, we gonna lose the house. We're gonna lose the cars we drive. You see what I'm saying? Dependent, and again, that's why I say it just depends on the lifestyle that y'all living. You see, but he probably want to get married because he's I don't want to say that he a gold digger as a man.
He's 40.
Okay, yeah, he's just ready to settle down. He got old school values and stuff like that, man. And he feeling like, you know what, my lifestyle is decent as it is, or whatever. See, she say the issue is lack of ambition. Well, yeah, that right there can't be fixed. If he 40 years old and he making 50,000 and he comfortable making that 50,000, he done been making that for a couple years, he ain't gonna want to jump up there to try to shoot for no higher paying situation. Or this is another thing that women gotta understand. If that man decides to jump up there and say, you know what, I'm gonna go back to school, I'm gonna get my degree, I'm gonna start my own business, I'm gonna try to climb up there to that 200,000. You may not like that man that's making 200,000, because a lot of what makes him, he's gonna lose in the process of getting to that money. And what I mean by that, he may have a lot of time for you right now. He may work a regular 9 to 5 and he come home every day. He got a lot of time to kick it with you and take you out and whatever that, because you probably working your ass off. So when you do have that free time, he right there waiting on you, baby. What you want to do? What you want to? Let's go here. Let's do this. Let's do that. Right. But if I'm making 150,000, I'm making $200,000. I'm busy as hell, and I can speak to that. I'm busy as hell. You see what I'm saying? And my wife has to make a lot of, she has to acquiesce a lot to what my obligations are. And that means we may not be able to spend as much time as we want to spend together. That may mean that I may not be as creative or innovative as far as things for us to do, because I'm so busy trying to chase this money. So again, you got to be careful what you ask for in regard to the ambition thing, because money changes people, and the obligation that comes with money changes people. So, if that's that big of an issue, then I would say that you need to find somebody who makes that amount of money, who's already cut how you want them to be cut. If you've been working that same job for 3, 4, 5 years, and I'm sure that you done expressed it to him, like, look, baby, I would rather if you know what I mean, try to get this, hey, did you try to get the promotion? Or you ever thought about going back to school? Or, I'm sure you done tried to run it by him, and he just like, nah, I'm cool. then you got to leave him right there if that's going to be that big of an issue. Because, like I said, if he start chasing that money, or if he start chasing more, it's going to be sacrifices that come with that, and you don't know what they're going to be. So be careful what it is that you ask for in that scenario. But are you tripping? No, you just got preferences. Just is what it is. He don't meet them.
It's pretty simple to me.
Appreciate the question though. Dope question. Dope question. Let me see. Girl Lexi Powell in the building say, can a woman inspire a man to change?
Yeah, you're the right woman. But that, I mean, that really, I don't want to say it's few and far between, but you really have to be special. And you really, that man has to want to be with you in order to change. Like, what about you makes me change the way of my method right now? What about you makes me stop talking to these 3, 4 women that I already have and I'm already currently dealing with? Like, what makes you special and separate for the rest of them? Because again, I got several. I'm just telling you how men look at it. I got several that I can call at any time. I can hang out with, kick it with, leave alone, whatever, whenever I feel like it. Then I'm gonna have to deal with you when it's just you, 24/7. You have your thoughts, you have your opinions. You want to be up under me. I may, feel like being up under you. So it's more of a commitment, and it's more of how much better can you make him? I think that's really what it is. That'll be more inspiring. Like, what about you makes you different from the rest of the field? Like, what makes you interesting? Because there's a lot of women who you can put in a certain box. That's just what it is. But when I see you and you're not doing what most of the women doing, you're not dressing how most of the women are dressing, you don't think how most of the women think. Now that makes me kind of focus more on you, because I'm like, yes, I finally have something new. This is refreshing. This is something that I can get to know and grow with and learn from, versus the day-to-day woman that you just see on Instagram all day, every day. So yeah, I believe definitely you can definitely inspire a man to change. And a lot of y'all have a lot to do with when men change in the first place. Meeting that woman. 'Cause we already have drive as a man wanting to prepare for the woman that whoever we're going to marry.
Mm.
It's that want to be married, want to be a husband, want to create that family and environment. So we already have that inspiration. But then you add that woman on top of it. And so now it's like, okay, now I have my woman on top of my dream and my purpose. Like, now I got to go 10 times harder. And so if you don't have that in you to inspire him, you may not be with the right man.
That's heavy. I agree with that though. I think a woman can inspire a man to change, um, but I don't think she can inspire him to change foundationally. I think foundationally, men are who they are. Sometimes, man, we just get caught up in situations that kind of makes us veer off of the path of who we really are. We speak about it a lot in terms of like what may happen in the neighborhood or something. You may have a guy who start getting in trouble or whatever, but he really a straight A student, but he just ain't got no parents at home that give a damn, or no other outlets to get into, so he get consumed by the environment. But deep down, foundationally, he was a good guy already. He just got caught up in whatever he got caught up in. But if the dude is rotten foundationally, I don't give a damn how incredible the woman is. When you come into his life, he may change some surface level things, but that's only gonna last for so long, before they revert back to who they are foundationally. That's why it's so important to do your due diligence before you jump into serious relationships with people. How did this person grow up? What was their upbringing like? What did their resume look like? What have they completed? What have they tried? What have like get a real feel for who this is, not just what's being presented to you. You got to get a idea of who this person is foundationally. And I think if you can live with that, then we can move forward and try to change things on the exterior. You know what I'm saying? It's just like going to the dealership and buying a car. It don't matter what kind of paint you put on it. It don't matter what kind of rims you put on it. It don't matter what kind of sound system you put in there. If the engine is trash, the car is not gonna run, baby. It's not gonna get you where you trying to go. But we be thinking we could just take this terrible engine and goddamn throw some matte black paint on it and you know what I'm saying, some high beam blue lights on this motherfucker, throw some
LEDs and all
LED
that.
20-inch rims on this motherfucker, and think it's gonna drive like a Rolls Royce off the dealership floor. It don't work like that. You got to get to the foundation. Who is this person foundationally? What does this integrity look like? What does his ethics look like? How does he deal with other people? Is he respected in his environment? Like, and what type of respect? Not fear, because a lot of y'all be dating street dudes and think just niggas fearing that he respected. Those are two different things. No, respect is like I respect who you are as a man. I respect what you stand for as a man. Like, is he respected in these types? Like, that's who that person is foundationally. And then we can change some exterior things. We could change how he dress. We could change what type of activities that he may try. You know what I'm saying? Because women be putting us on a lot of stuff. TV shows he may watch. You know, you could change some external things. But foundationally, that person is who they is. Work ethic wise, that person is who they is.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You got because that happens a lot. You got a lot of women who be dealing with a dude. She filling out resumes for him. He putting in applications for
You
him.
want it better than he do.
Exactly. He ain't got no work ethic, baby. You can do all that you want to do. He's still gonna crash that ship because that's who he is foundationally.
But that also speaks to just how a lot of women are in general, which to one aspect applaud, because that's the type of women men want in their corner.
Mhm.
However, a lot of times y'all are giving that energy and attention to the wrong men. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got somebody that has a business. That's somebody you invest in. Hey, babe, I see you doing this with your business, yada, yada, yada. Have you thought about doing it this way? You thought about adding this, you thought about adding that. Like, that adds value. But when you're doing all the work yourself, trying to build that man up, build a bear and all that, you're going to hurt yourself in the end. You're going to resent that man. And then you're going to be like, I'm not ever helping a man in my life again. He got to come this way. He got to come this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going to make it harder for the future guys when you just focus your attention on the person that you're supposed to focus on. That's it. And don't go all in. Especially early on, don't go all in. You get married, that's totally different. You getting married with the intent of I'm not, ending this. So if you're in a situation like that, that's totally understandable. But you doing that 6 months in, he like, yeah, babe, I got this investment idea, I need about 15, 20,000, Hell no. That's a hell no. Each and every time. So just be careful, y'all, because I know sometimes y'all will make mistakes out of and love and lust and kind of desperation, or you feel you're getting a little bit older. So you're trying to, hang on to who you can. And now sometimes you might be a little bit older, but that person still ain't right for you. So until that person is right for you, you just got to stay single, or you got to hit the dating market again. That's just reality. But don't force it and then prolong your real blessing.
Yeah, I agree. I think just real quick. Hold on, what's going on with this camera? Ugh, let me sit up.
Blurred again.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was just looking at this question right here. Y'all, I mean not question, this statement right here. Y'all read this statement. So I think there's something profoundly special about a woman who can embrace a man with a troubled past and show him what real love and understanding truly is. It takes an exceptional person to see beyond the pain and struggles to patiently and compassionately build him up until he feels they truly understood and valued. It's about offering unwavering support and a steady source of comfort and encouragement and helping him see his own strength and worth through your eyes. And no, I agree with that. It's dangerous territory, man.
I agree. That's the only thing.
It's dangerous territory.
That's the only thing. She was mentioning most people, I guess she has something else to say to it. But yeah, I grab the camera. I agree. I agree 2,000%. Yeah, because you'll waste your time. You'll waste your time with someone who, like, a lot of instances when that happens, that man uses you and he leaves. Now, can it be instances where similar to, like, I think about like the Maya Moore situation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? This woman was in the WNBA, balling, putting up Jordan type numbers in WNBA, like killing it. And then there was the prison reform stuff, and with somebody, because was he guilty of what he
Nah,
did?
he was
So
wrongfully convicted.
wrongfully convicted. So she met a man kind of, I want to say, fresh out of prison, but that's he was serving time. He didn't have all his things together initially, but she took the chance on him. So you have some situations where it works out and it's understandable, but most situations, man, you take somebody who's never really had nothing and you build that man up, you give him that confidence, give him a couple of dollars in his pocket, he gonna act different. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I would also, I mean, this is a way to simplify that, man. And again, that sounds great in terms of what she's saying from a fairy tale perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if people start thinking when they considering people to date, would I be comfortable with my daughter dating somebody like this?
Never.
Or would I want my son to date somebody like this, who I'm entertaining, somebody that's broken, somebody that's come from troubled past, somebody that does this, that does that. If your kid came to you and said, "Hey mama, hey daddy, this person that I'm considering, they come from this type of household, or they done been locked up 5 times, or they got 2 or 3 kids by 2 or 3 different people, and da 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 da. Like, do you think that I should date them?" Most people who entertain those type of people would tell their kid, "Hell no, I don't want you dating nobody like that. I want you dating somebody who come from a good household, somebody who come from, the most idyllic circumstances possible." But ironically, we don't move like that when we dating people. And that's something that I cannot wrap my head around to save my life. And that's why I say people are arrogant enough to believe
Mm-hmm.
that I could change this person into who I, what, this person may have come from this, may have come from that, but I could change them. I'm dope enough
Mm-hmm.
to make them want to change.
Yeah.
But if you had to gamble your child on it, or if you had to gamble somebody that you really love and somebody that's young and that ain't been corrupted by the world yet, if you had to gamble them on it, you wouldn't do it. You would say, "Hell no, go the other way. Don't date nobody like that. I want you to date somebody who comes from, this type of situation, who got this in order, who got this checked out." I wouldn't recommend you dating somebody that ain't got no job. I would recommend you dating somebody that ain't got no car. Somebody that make $100,000 less than you. I wouldn't recommend you dating that.
That you got to help every day.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like though it's honor in helping somebody like that, most times you're gonna lose so much of yourself by the time y'all get to the finish line, you ain't gonna even recognize who you see in the mirror. Is that worth it? Especially if that relationship ends on the back end of that, which is likely to do. Because once you done built this person up, now this person got a totally different mindset. Nah,
Yeah.
they were super humble. They were super grateful for what you was doing at the beginning. But now that I am who I am now, you done built me up. I got my business going. I got this going. I'm making this amount of money. I'm driving this car. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I appreciate the help, but I'm about to go do what I want to do now because I can do it. It's available to me now. That's what the likelihood is in terms of what's going to happen on the back end of it. So I ask people again, if you wouldn't allow your child to date somebody like that, you shouldn't be dating them.
Mm-hmm. It's totally different if he was already having some type of plan in place and working towards it, and then you invest in it, like I said before. That's totally different. But you helping that man from the ground up, I don't know, man. It got to be like, it would have to be an extreme case for me to understand. It just might be out of my scope. That's all. It would just have to be an extreme case where it was like constant abuse, verbal abuse in the household, possibly physical abuse in the household. Y'all might be 24, 25. He never really had nothing stable. We had to jump from house to house, never really had a job. It was just bad all his life. I could kind of understand if then it's like, hey, I think, you got a good head on your shoulders. You thought about enrolling in school. You thought about enrolling in a trade, or you thought about, especially if that man has if he's showing some type of work ethic. Now, if you begging him and pleading him to doing these things, then it's a hell no. Then it's a hell no. But like outside of extreme circumstances, other than that, I'm sorry. I just don't see it, because as a man, we supposed to know we gotta figure it out. We gotta pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and figure out a way to make a living and to eventually provide for a family. So helping that man with literally every single thing that he has to do, hell no. You handicapping yourself.
And I think it says a lot about a man willing to date in a situation like that. Because I wouldn't even want to date nobody if you got to build me from scratch, like I'm a goddamn car in a manufacturing plant. You got to build me from scratch. I wouldn't want to date nobody. I'm not in the right space to do it. I may like you a lot, and we vibe well, and the sex is well. We got great conversation, and we got similar aspirations and stuff like that. But I'm not on my way to that right now. So
she don't care.
but no, which I completely understand. But that's what I'm talking about from the man perspective.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I would like. It says a lot about a man who's willing to walk into a situation with nothing going for himself and expect a woman to take him seriously. It says a lot about a man that's willing to do that. I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't. Man, I don't give a damn how good a woman she is.
I think part of it from the woman's side is just that in this instance, I ain't saying all women. In this instance, I'm thinking like part of it could be control. Like I always say, they want to have their hand in it. And I think potentially, I'm not saying this is you, but just having a hand in saying, hey, I made him who he is, or I helped bring him from nothing into something. We talk about all the time, women like projects. I think with that, it's like, I've helped you with this, I've helped you with this, I've helped you with this, and kind of using that and put it over his head while he's going through it or trying to develop or trying to learn. She could always, hey, well, I did this for you, I did that for you. That's too much help. Extremely too much help. Giving him resources, you can give a man a fish, or you can teach a man how to fish. If you give him everything, he is not ever gonna go get it out on his own. You can say, hey, babe, sit down with me. Let me show you how to build a resume. Hey, babe, I paid this subscription for us to create resumes. AI, you got plenty of AI stuff now. All you got to do is put in your resume and say, I want to add this, add some percentages, add some quantitative data, and it's going to spit you out something. So today, especially, there's no excuse to not at least have some resumes out there and doing stuff on your own.
Yeah, I tell you what, salute to my dog, Matt, again with the 5. Is why y'all think some women would rather spend time building a man up rather than having what they want in a man that is squared. Hood pressure. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think it stemmed back to what O just said. I think a lot of women have a hero complex. Like they want to be proud of their creation. Like I done seen women run into a dude who has everything going for himself. And because she's so used to dealing with broken men, she don't know how to be there for that man who has everything going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
feel helpless.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to pay my car note. I don't need you to help me with rent. I don't need none of that. I need you to show up for me and be a woman and be feminine and find, spaces to where, we can actually hit the ground running instead of having to climb out of a hole to get to where we trying to get to. A lot of women run into a dude like that who got everything going for herself and situated, and they have no idea how to show up for him. So I think it's more of that compared to if I'm dating a broken man, like I could see stuff that I could have a tangible effect on. He's short on rent. I could help him out with money. Or he can't really afford, no car. I could let him use my. This is tangible things that I can see and feel me showing up for this man, helping this man out. And like that gives them fulfillment. Makes them feel like they doing something. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this: for those who happy to build projects, be just as happy when he walks away with the person that you built him for. Because more times than not, it ain't gonna be you. So I need that same proud look, that same blush and grin when you build him up to the person that you want him to be, and he goes to be with somebody else, since you in it for the love of the game, clearly. If you just like building people, that's just what you enjoy, right?
Mhm.
Then it shouldn't matter that he go be with somebody else, that you done built him up to go be the perfect man for somebody else. None of that should matter. You in it for the love of the game at that point.
Mhm.
So just keep that same energy, bro. That's it.
And there's a difference between building with me and building for me. Two totally different things. Yes, we say we would love a woman to build with us. Like you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Basically, when I'm out there grinding, you out here with me day for day, helping me strategize, whatever types of way you're adding to it, while I'm also in the process of getting it myself. That's what we talking about, not you laying out the whole thing and doing the work as well. That's not what we're talking about. That's not building with. That's making your partner do all the work on the assignment, and then you just write your name on it too, saying you completed it. That's what that is. So no, with literally, this is your duty, this is my duties. We come together, divvy it up how it is. Sometimes it might be more on one side than the other. It might be 80-20, might be 90-10, might be 50-50. It just all depends on your relationship and how y'all do things, man. But hey, y'all just be dating anybody sometimes.
It sound like a disappointed father. Salute to Mikhail again. Says, how do men know when a woman is truly the one for him? What signs do they show, or what feelings do men have that confirms it?
I feel like we get this all the time.
I know, man. I think a lot of women be looking for confirmation bias. I like be using
It ain't
confirmation
you.
bias.
No, play.
That's crazy.
uh, I think patience is one. Um, Patience and understanding, I think, would be probably top two if I had to say something with men, because men feel like we're so understood in the first place. Just having a woman that you can converse with and really get to say, like, hey, this is where I'm struggling with, or this is what I do. This is how I react when you do these things. Like somebody that I can really come and have a conversation with, even when that person is in the wrong, and we can, get through it and flesh it out however we do. I think that's one of them. And then understanding, just even allowing me to have the conversation, to vent, or to get off my frustrations or whatever it is. Just creating that type of environment, because a lot of time it doesn't happen. And I think too, we kind of take that for granted too much and don't allow more of those spaces to even to come about. So if you create a opportunity for a man to be open to you and vulnerable to you, like, ladies, take note of that. Don't just immediately jump down his throat and bring up what he just did last week or yesterday and all that stuff. Because sometimes that moment don't be about y'all. It be about him. He finally came to you. You've been asking this man for however long to open up to you, be vulnerable to you, and say more than a couple words besides "I'm cool." And he finally does it, and then you jump down his throat. So guess what he doing? Boop. Next conversation, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good, babe. Hey, I'm hey, whatever you need. Yeah, whatever you need. Because he's not trying to go there. So once you create that environment and just ask more questions. Hey, babe, so when you said such and such, what do you mean when you know? And then now you can gain on the better understanding. Oh, okay, I get it now, babe. Hey, so when I was doing this is what I meant. I wasn't trying to talk about you. I wasn't trying to harm you. I wasn't trying to talk down on you. I was maybe using this as an example or whatever it is, because sometimes you'll have a conversation and stuff just get lost in the mud just off whatever y'all could be talking about. So ask more questions, man. Just ask more questions, get more clarity, and allow people to disagree with you without you jumping back at them. Like, allow the conversation to go on more first before you start to defend yourself. So if they make a statement saying that you did something, hey, okay, so what do you mean when I do such and such? Can you give me an example when I did such and such? Just so somebody can kind of understand, because sometimes we'll just say things and they might not have a clue what they're doing. They might not know they're doing that. But if you give them an example and this is how I feel, this is how I received it, then maybe that can open their eyes to, a different aspect. So that's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, I think men know when a woman truly for us, man, when the thought of losing her actually bothers us. I think, the type of men that y'all want, I can only speak from that perspective, which are men who are successful, men who a lot of women are attracted to, men who got motion, men who are men of integrity, things of that nature. Um, they typically have a lot of options, or they typically have at least a decent amount of them. You know what I'm saying? So, certain women that men deal with, we don't care less if she leave or she don't want to talk to us no more or whatever. Yeah, it's just like, all right, cool, next. But then there's certain women who, when she start moving like that, or when she say something like that, it ring different. Now we ready to jump up and fix whatever the issue is. You see what I'm saying? So I think that right there is like the first like message that a man gets is like, okay, nah, this woman is a little different. This woman meaning a little bit more than the rest of. Then I think the rest just boils down to how she shows up for us, man. Um, you know, successful men don't really ask for much. But when a woman really loves you and a woman is really there for you, she find ways to make your life easier. It could be the smallest of things, whether it's getting your clothes out for you to go to work tomorrow, or if it's, buying you something to eat because she done went got her something and she figured you might be hungry. It's little things like she took your car yesterday, but she put a little gas in it just because, it's small things, just little things to make your life easier. Because again, as a man, like most of us, we not gonna ask for much. We just not. We gonna try to handle it ourselves. We gonna do what we got to do. But the way certain women show up for us, it just be like, damn, like this feels good to have. Like this, like she really care about me. She ain't just here for the aura and the, social media posts and shit like that. She ain't here for that. Like she really values me and what it is that I want and what it is that I need. You know what I'm saying? So if we already like her, then that's just gonna make us go 100 miles per hour in that direction. But if we don't like her and she's showing up for us that way, we just gonna bleed her dry. That's just honest, man. And if I don't do nothing else, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth up here, man. Certain women just do way too much, man.
Way too
Way too much, and it's just not warranted. But
and
too early, and you be thinking that because I'm doing all of this too early, so early, that's gonna make this man like me more, or that's gonna make this man like put me in a different category. All that man gonna do is just continue to take advantage of you over and over if he don't really like you like that. So again, we got to figure out like, does he really care about me like that? And goes back to what we talked about earlier. How much of an inconvenience is he willing to take on to make your life easier? That's gonna let you know, okay, he likes me or he doesn't. He only wants to deal with me when things benefit him, or he wants to deal with me regardless of whether it's benefiting him or if it's benefiting me. He don't really give a damn. He just like me and he want to be involved and he want to, you know what I mean? This man really likes me. Okay, from this point, now I can go above and beyond and, take care of this man and show up for this man because he's doing the same thing for me. But if you just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and not getting nothing in return, you setting yourself up for failure, man. And there's a lot of women that do that in hopes of, I'm gonna turn this guy's viewpoint of me around. He gonna like me as much as I like him one day. So, tell him about how you used to take advantage of.
Wow. They said, take it, don't care who give it.
Hey, that's
They
real.
say,
That's real.
just go take it. They don't give a damn who you are.
Real, dog.
Nigga say, I tell about you.
Tell him how you did old girl back in the day.
I will not speak on it.
Say the statute of limitations is up.
It's up. 7 years, baby.
That's crazy. Our girl Lexi back again says signs a man is truly scared to get married and signs he's just wasting your time. What's the difference between a man who's truly ready to get married and a man who's just trying to hold you there because you're convenient for me?
Well, according to y'all, if to read too much and
He ain't gonna let it go. He ain't gonna let it go. He ain't gonna let that ring conversation go. Oh man.
Still bad at that. No. Shit. Whether he's truly scared. I mean, I think just the conversation alone. Because sometimes shit, that the marriage or just wedding, just all that can be triggering, it can be uneasy. So I think pay attention to the conversation that he has. Like if he just, oh yeah, that's cool, okay. Hey man, yeah, all right, yeah. Hey, cool.
He's
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
get
look
over.
good. That look good. Yeah, look good, man. Hey man, what do you think about that? Yeah, that's cool. That's lit. Yeah. But he like that and not asking more detailed questions. I think that's kind of, some of the signs. Because niggas be scared. And if he never bring it up, if you always bring up the conversation, that's another red flag.
I think those two can be the same thing.
Yeah.
Nigga can be scared and wasting their time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that like if he initiates the conversation, like after it's been introduced, because let's just put shit on tape. Women are gonna bring up marriage first. That's just how it's gonna happen. You know
More
what I'm
times
saying?
than not, I
Whether it's
agree.
jokingly
Okay.
or however, they gonna bring it up. But if I want to marry you, then I'm gonna take steps, subtle steps, things of that nature. We in the mall. Hey man, let's start this ring shop. Let's go see what these rings look like. Man. Or you know what, baby? Hypothetically speaking, if we did get married, like what type of colors would you want? Like what would you want to eat? You know, what type of food you want? Like he get inquisitive about the idea of it, right? But if you bring it up and he don't ever bring it up again, in no way, shape, form, or fashion, then that's not really what he wants to do with you, baby. So I think that right there is tough, man, because women really got to wait on our decision making to get married.
do.
You know what I'm saying? It's tough, okay?
Sure do.
Because some dudes is really scared for real. Like they just like, man, I just don't want to risk it. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I'm successful. I ain't trying to give up my money, or I don't know. You know, I'm scared of how the relationship is gonna change after marriage. Let me repeat it. I don't think they heard me. I'm afraid of how the relationship is gonna change after marriage. Like
And
we
it
having
shouldn't.
fun right now.
And it
Like
shouldn't.
she on board. We kicking it. I got free reign. I can stay out as long as I want. You know what I mean? But when that ring is put on a finger, all of a sudden them privileges get they get reeled in all of a sudden. You know what I mean? So I would, if I'm y'all, see, definitely changed.
It should never change.
It baby.
It shouldn't drastically change. It shouldn't. And if it does,
all of a sudden stuff she used to let slide, she tripping over now. Y'all was having sex 5-6 times a week. Now it's 5-6 times a month, 2 times a month.
No more lingerie, big tees and hooping shorts.
And hair wraps. She used to put a little effort in how she went to bed when y'all was kicking and dating. Now she's showing up looking like your homie.
You can wake her up in the middle of the night. Now you can't. She gonna snap that hands, roll over and tuck it on you.
You know what I mean? Food was getting cooked every week. Now all of a sudden she want to eat out. You know what I mean? Things are gonna change. So when we talking about fear of getting married, we gotta factor in the reality of this shit, man. In a lot of situations, things are gonna change. So I say all that to say I'm not really sure how to answer this question.
Hey.
I'm not really sure how to answer this. I'm not. Because it's a real fear, but it's a fear over some shit that really happens.
That's very true. That is very, very true.
So all I can do is tell you this: don't advertise what you can't sustain. And you drive that point home when y'all talking about marriage. You let him know all of these things that we told you that could potentially change here tonight. You reiterate, hey baby, none of this is gonna change when we get married. Ain't gonna be no change. It's gonna still be fun on the opposite end. I'm not gonna turn into your parole officer because I have a ring on my finger. We still gonna be partners in this. We still gonna do fun things. We still gonna be able to go to the club, and I still be able to compliment. You can look at a girl that got a big old booty. I'll tell you how big the booty is too. Like these things are not gonna bother me because we used to do these things. You joking on me all the time. Remember, we had banter when we
Oh
was
my
dating.
gosh.
At first, we could joke on each other and say whatever. Now you get married.
You gained a little weight. My jokes don't hit the same.
Jokes don't hit the same. Yeah,
My jokes don't hit the same.
when I told you was shaped like a whale when we was dating, we laughed it off. We laughed.
Now you really a whale.
Now you really built like a whale, and now you in the room crying. We had banter, baby. We used to joke. Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't advertise what you can't sustain.
That's it.
That's all I tell you, That's all I gotta say, man.
I think a lot of men be scared though. I would say most men scared.
Mhm.
It's just, am I silly enough? Am I goofy enough? Am I in love enough to take the step anyway? No matter what the data says, no matter what I see, no matter what I may feel, do I still love this woman enough to take that step and lock it in? So I think a lot of them, a lot of men are always going to be scared / nervous. So that's almost inevitable.
It's tough, man. It's tough out here for us. All right, real quick before we go any further, man, we're gonna answer a couple more. We're gonna get on up out of here, man.
Shaped like a whale is crazy.
Make sure y'all tap that like button. If y'all ain't tapped the like button already, man, we deeply, deeply apologize for that horrible audio at the beginning. That's why I'm trying to give y'all at least another hour because I'm gonna probably clip the first half of it off. Just for listening, what I'm saying, purposes after we upload it. But yeah, we apologize, man. Y'all know we have developed a reputation for quality, and I hate falling short of it, and it's burning me up as we speak. But we appreciate y'all rocking with us anyway, kicking it with us. Make sure y'all tap that like button if you haven't. Everybody on Facebook, make sure y'all tap that thumbs up if y'all haven't tapped it yet. Twitch, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. All right, we're gonna get to a couple more of these, and we're gonna get on up out of here, man. My boy O got a family to get on to. There's some author says if y'all had the opportunity to interview Ali Sadiq, what are 2 questions that you'd ask him? First off, man, salute to Ali
Hell
Sadiq,
yeah,
man.
love. But if you ever see this, I ran into Ali twice over here at HEB in Pearland.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, but funny dude, bro. Funny dude. Shit, man. I'm not sure what I'd ask, bro. I mean, bro tell his whole life and all his stand-ups. I'm not sure it's really nothing to ask. I guess like I would ask him more stuff that got to do with like marketing and how much it costs to set up these to tape these shows and put them out and things of that nature. Really just get that game on how to build independent. You know what I'm saying? Without no big backing, no big company backing you, nothing like that. And that's what I think is the special thing about what he's doing, man. He really investing in this thing itself, putting it together itself, putting it out itself, and is winning.
Yeah.
That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of people that try to do that and fall flat on their face. Bro, taping these stand-ups and putting them out and getting millions of views within days. That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? And he's not a quote unquote household name like a Kevin Hart or a Cat Williams or somebody like that. So, definitely putting on for the age. So those would be more the questions that I would ask, bro. It's like what's your technique? Like what's your thought process that goes into creating them and putting them out and different things like that's what I would ask.
I think one of my the first question I probably asked would be his key to longevity
Mm,
because he's been in the game for a good minute. So I would definitely want to pick his brain on that and how he's been able to maneuver and be in the limelight, but then not in the limelight at the same time. Like just enough to where he's relevant, but then also out the loop to where he ain't got cameras all around him, and like bro can actually go to the store and grocery shop.
right.
Like he famous, but he can still do the daily tasks that he needs to do without just being hounded all the time. So that's definitely be one of my probably my first questions, and probably the next. I don't know. I probably just try to get to know him,
Hmm.
on a personal level, especially just knowing how much he shared, like you said, on all the domino effects and stuff. And so I would just ask him how was he able to maneuver during some of these times, or just his thought process and delivering his message, how he do it. So it probably be something along those lines. But yeah, Ali a goat for sure, for sure. And if you ain't watched none of his specials yet, please go check it out. He got 3 and 4 out. 4 came out on Father's Day.
Hmm.
Yeah, go check all of them out, man. They real. It's real insightful. It's telling you like his day-to-day stuff. And like, bro is an awesome storyteller for real.
Yeah, one of the best storytellers ever. That's for sure. Appreciate the question, big dog. Uh, Nalit Designs says, "At what point does the plan have to change as a man? What makes you redo the blueprint so your spouse doesn't feel like stress supporting a building that will never go up?" Mm. So essentially, I
Okay.
guess he's speaking to like, when we come into a situation with a woman, we got a plan. We got, things in which we want to get done. But,
Hmm.
in the path to getting to the finish line of some of these plans, we may see it like, hey man, this shit ain't gonna work.
Hmm.
But a lot of times men will let their ego kind of say, you know what, I'm gonna keep going this route anyway, even though I know it ain't gonna work. Or I mean I feel it ain't gonna work, but I'm gonna keep going anyway because I don't want to look like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So
Hmm.
at what point do I just cave and say, you know what, this ain't working. Let's take some counsel from her
Hmm.
and let's get back on the right path.
I was just about to say that. That definitely takes one. One, listen to your woman, and then two, just that self check. Because if you don't have that self awareness, like you always gonna be in your own way every damn time. So you got to be able to know, like, okay, I'm leading us in the wrong direction, and I clearly need to make some changes. What I'm doing is not working, and I think as long as you have a plan in place for your woman, even if it may not seem right, like just having a plan in general, you can say, "Hey, babe, hey, this is what I was thinking about running. I'm gonna take this step, this step, this step." And I think in order for us to get to position, this would work. And then hear what she got to say. You know, I would also say you don't want a woman who just going, okay, babe, go ahead. Yeah, I think that's fine. You don't want a woman that's gonna do that every single time. You want a woman that's gonna push back a little bit and give a different viewpoint than what you would. That's extremely important. So I don't think nothing wrong at all with redoing the blueprint. If you going in the wrong direction, redo the blueprint. That's okay. I think that's the beautiful part about relationships is there is no just one blueprint. I can take this blueprint to get here. Then, okay, ball that up. Now I'm going this direction. Now we need to use this because every direction you have to take different steps. You may have to really crunch down and not spend so much money on 1 month to get to where you need to go, or you may need to take 2 months. You got some big expenses coming up, or you want to take a vacation, or whatever it is. Like those things are important, and so just having that time to the side or space and just opportunity to have those conversations is what you need.
Yeah, man. I think, man, what a lot of men don't realize is that, sometimes admiration comes from the journey, man. And what I mean by that is seeing somebody fail and then get back up off the mat and keep going and win hit you differently than somebody who just always win.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like that person ain't never really ran into no adversity that you could see. All you've ever seen is them win, 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 win. But when you see somebody who done ran into some adversity and that done picked themselves up off the mat and got it done, like that gives you a different type of admiration. And I think if men knew that, then we wouldn't be so ashamed to fall short of things in front of our woman. Because we be feeling like once we fall short in regard to anything that we set out to do in front of our woman, that she loses respect for us. When that's not the case, we got to look at it like that's an opportunity for one, her to see me be able to handle adverse situations, and for two, for me to involve her in the plan and we collaborate, figure something out together, and get out through it together. Both of those scenarios is gonna make y'all relationship stronger on the back end. Even though in a lot of men's heads, they be feeling like, man, once I fumble, it's over. She ain't gonna never respect me the same. She ain't gonna never look at me the same. She ain't, you know what I mean? So, and I feel like that's the wrong way of thinking about it. When is the good time to change the plan? As soon as you know it ain't working.
Yep.
As soon as you know it ain't working. And men know, because most men plot out steps 2, 3 steps in advance. So we can see what's going on down the line. And a lot of times our ego just makes us stay on that track anyway, in hopes that we could turn it around at some point between now and then. But the likelihood of that happening is low, and we know it's low. Instead of just saying, you know what, this ain't it. Let me backtrack. Let me cut my losses. Let me do what I gotta do. I might gotta fall on my ass right quick and then climb back up. But this is what needs to be done in order for us to reach the goal that we're trying to get to down the line. And as a man, that has to be more important to you than your perception
Yep.
from your woman.
It seems like men would almost rather, I would rather drive into the wall versus tell my woman, hey, what I originally told you isn't working right now. We're gonna need to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? I think she would be much more understanding because you don't want to run into the wall either. But if you say, hey, baby, I just messed up. I think we need to take a step back. Or I know we had this conversation about this, but I did think that we forgot about this important aspect of whatever we was talking about. This piece is missing. So I would like to go this way. And I think she'll be understanding versus you just letting y'all run into a wall. Like that ain't nothing that you want to do. So I think going back to what you said, I think that just builds trust and that builds admiration because you're not afraid to say, hey, I messed up, or hey, I may have failed or dropped the ball right here, but this is what I have to do to rectify it.
Right.
And so I think that's what we got to do. We just can't be scared. And I think we get in our way a lot by being afraid to tell our woman or being just afraid of how she's going to respond or react instead of just doing it or saying it. And we got to get out that habit. And that's with everything. Like they'll listen to us more and be more understanding if we communicated what was wrong, fellas. We tend to hold a lot of things in, or we just feel like I can just shoulder it and I'm just gonna tough it out. I'm gonna do it on my own. When we really need to at least, even if she can't fix it, give her the insight so she know, okay, he needs some space, he needs some time to think, he need a little, time to get together. Or maybe even if she lets you get some time on the back end, she can kind of think about some things. Hey, babe, I know you've been thinking the last couple of days, but hey, I just wanted to say this is what I thought about. You know what I'm saying? But we let our ego get in the way, and it's like, well, I'm gonna do this. I know I said I do it, so I'm just gonna commit. I'm just gonna go full speed. I'm going 90. Forget it. But we can't do that. We got to be more mindful and understand that other lives are at stake too, especially if you got a family. Like, you understand that your situation or your decision making is not affecting just you. So, and I'm also speaking to myself when I'm giving this game because I've made mistakes. So
Me both. Me both, man. That's a real. I don't think we could attack that any better. All right, man. It's gonna be the last one of the day. This is from Tanisha Davis. Says, "What are your thoughts on an 18-year-old child that has continually run away and know he lives with the girlfriend and family, and I'm not happy about it?"
oh, no, he lives with the girl.
Yeah, so she got an 18-year-old son. He run away all the time, and now she know he's staying with his girl, and she not happy about it. What are your thoughts on that type of situation?
He a grown man. I don't like it. Especially if he's done finished school. I think people got to make their own mistakes. Would I want it to be that way? Absolutely not. I would, if you make mistakes, I would prefer it being in my house. That way I have some type of direction. I can coach you, I can guide you. But when you just out on your own with somebody else who I don't know, and you with a family, I don't know how they was raised, I'm a feel away. And yeah, I definitely I wouldn't be happy about it either. But I think he has to learn. And also I think you need to have a conversation with him and let him know if the option is still open for him to come back. I think you should let him know. And also, if you say, "Hey, if you go through with this, I can't help you," or "This is the further I can help you," because there are a lot of kids that think they want to be grown, and you probably, if he got a car, you probably paying the car note, you probably paying the insurance, and things like that. So he riding around in a car that you paying for and doing things that you may not see fit, but he still got rules to adhere to. If you want to go do your own thing, you need to have your own. That's just how I was raised. If you want to be out late at night, and you need to have your own place. If you staying in my house, the curfew is midnight or whatever, even at 25, your curfew is midnight if you staying in somebody else's house. Like that's just what it is. So all you can do is, I would say, just hope for the best. Try to coach them as much as you can. But as young teens, we get so excited and just kind of finally want to be on your own. We want to live life, and we want to not be over the under our mom's roof, because I don't know how you raised him. You could have been a super strict parent. So now he finally got a little freedom, and he feels that he can kind of be more himself. I don't know. It's many different reasons. So man, that's tough. And he ran away too. So yeah, I think he kind of chose where he wants to go. I think as long as you keep in touch with him, um, I would suggest try to get him back home. But if he just really don't want to come back home, I don't know what more you can do
I
law
mean, at,
wise.
at at this point, it ain't nothing you can do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
So
again, I think in terms of controlling what he does,
mhm.
that's over. I think that as a parent in that situation, we got to get to the bottom of why he felt the need to run away so many times. Um, and again, that's not saying that you a horrible parent. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we got to figure out what is it that makes him feel like I can't come to you in these type of situations. A lot of times as parents, we get so caught up on parenting that we forget to listen to what the kid is saying. They may be saying the wrong thing, or their thought process may not be right, but just being heard a lot of times or feeling heard will keep a kid from going out there to try to do something that they don't, you know what I'm saying, that may not be best for them. So, again, I done been up close to this, to where, even as you get older, your parents still look at you as a kid and treat you like a kid when you just really want your independence. You want to feel heard. You want to feel like, not that we equals, but just that you respect me enough to take what I'm saying into account, instead of just writing me, "Oh, you a kid, stay in a child's place," stuff like that. Like that's what happens in a lot of the households that we grow up in, and then you wonder why your kid get older and y'all don't speak no more, or he don't come back to see you as much as you may feel like he should, or whatever, or she should, or whatever the case may be. That's because you never built no relationship with them. It was just parenting, 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 parenting all the time. Instead of you taking the time to really, okay, okay, what do you think about it?
Mm.
What do you want to do? Okay, I can do some of that. I can't do all of that, and this is why I can't do all of it. Instead of just saying, I don't agree with that. Hell no, you ain't doing it. Period. Why? Because I said so.
Mhm.
That's what happens in a lot of the households that we grow up in.
My house, my
My
rules,
house, my
my way
rules.
or the highway,
You know what I mean?
all
So
that.
it's like when you do that, you putting up a wall between them. And I feel like I can't come to you about things, because I feel like you're gonna bite my head off. I feel like you're gonna trip. So I'm gonna go try to get that information from somebody who may not have my best interest at heart. That's how a lot of kids turn to being in the streets and stuff like that. Is because at least the OG down the block listen to me, make me feel like we, you know what I'm saying, make me feel like we both adults, make me feel like my thought process or my opinion is respected. He just so happened to rob and shoot people as well, but I feel heard. I feel a sense of belonging, and that I can't get in my house. I can't talk to my daddy about, hey, daddy, I got this girlfriend. I don't want you dating until I'm this, till you this age. I don't, or you got a girl. Hey, daddy, I like this boy. Da, da, da. Whoa, boy, you ain't dating till you're 65. That's the kind of stuff that be going on. You see what I'm saying? So, but you don't realize what you're doing is you put a wall up between y'all, and it sounds like that's what happened here. It sounds like he been running away because home is not a safe place for me. Just because you paying bills and you putting clothes on his back and food on the table, that does not mean that you're creating a safe space for this person. And we got to learn as parents how to do that. And I know a lot of us don't have that tutelage because our parents didn't have that. Our parents got told do it because I said so, and that's just what I seen. So I'm gonna pass it down. But we in the era of information, to where we got to learn as many different methods because all kids is different. You may have 3 kids in the same household. You raised them all the same way. One of them is locked up or running away or doing some stuff on drugs, whatever the case may be, and the other 2 is perfectly okay. But that's because we didn't take the time to learn how to connect with this kid. We feeling like, wait, my way working. My other 2 kids doing what they supposed to do. He just an outlier. He just bad. He just whatever. All kids learn in different ways. We've seen it in school. Certain kids can learn from reading. Certain kids learn from you got to show them pictures or whatever the case may be, and they just as smart, but they just learn in different ways. And I think that's the trick as parents. We got to learn how to connect with our kid and not just be so focused on parenting them all the
Mhm.
time. So
And I don't know if we have any youngsters in here, youngsters that will be watching. If your parents are not forcing you out the house at 18, don't leave, because your ass will be in for a rude awakening when you get out here in these streets and you struggling, trying to pay your bills. There are better ways to do it. We don't have to get out there and struggle just because we don't want to have rules and regulations and structure in somebody else's household. We be so quick, especially when you're young. I want to get on my own. I'm trying to hunch. I'm trying to, like, that's what it be half the time. You just want your own space to do what you got. Cool. But in that process, man, you got to think about everything that you're doing and then how you kind of setting yourself back too. Like if you in school, tuition paid for, that's different. You on campus, you can you have a little more free reign. But trying to literally get it out there on your own, paying a whole rent every month, paying a light bill, groceries, toilet paper, laundry detergent, paper, like the stuff that you need, essential soap. Nigga, hey, I done been there a few times where you'd have to use that last little skinny strip for 2 days till that check hit. So just be patient sometimes, y'all. Some of y'all, I know y'all come from good circumstances. And again, if your parents are not pushing y'all out the house, it's okay to take a couple years, get yourself together. If your people are not pressuring you, if you got to throw something to the house or to the bills or whatever, cool, do that. But just jumping out there and trying to do things on your own, that's how you get set back, and that's how you get in trouble. That's how you get in debt. That's how you get your car repossessed. Just all type of stuff. Because you're doing stuff, you rushing trying to live life when you have an opportunity to kind of get yourself together first. Get your parents together first.
take your
That would
time.
be my yeah, for real, to the young folks. You ain't got to rush to get older, man. You don't, because the bills is gonna be there always.
Real rap. Real rap. And on that note, man, we appreciate y'all. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. It's been a hell of an episode. Like I say, my apologies for the sound issues we had at the beginning. We're gonna clip that, and we done basically made it, gave y'all a strong hour and a half, and with clear sound. So I feel good about that. Um, Podcast coming on Thursday, brand new episode 178, I think it is. Coming on Thursday. Probably gonna be back live again at some point this week. That's at some point. We're gonna be back live again this week, man. And we're gonna run it back. All the questions we couldn't get to today, y'all make sure y'all bring them to the next one. Um, Make sure y'all download the app, Crew Season, on all platforms, on all streaming sites that you listen to, that you watch or you stream on. That's Apple TV, that's Amazon Fire Stick, that's Android, that's Apple, that's Roku, that's wherever that you get your apps from, man. Crew Season. Make sure y'all type in Crew Season, download the app. They got exclusive interviews, exclusive content that is not available, as y'all see on the YouTube. Some of these interviews, man, where that interview at? It's on the app. Make sure y'all tap into the app, man. First 7 days is free. Y'all get in there, check it out, see if you like it. If you rock with it, it's $4.99 a month after that. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep updating y'all. Promised y'all more content when we came back here. I feel like we done been delivering.
Hitting the ground running.
Right. So we plan to continue to do that. And we appreciate y'all support, man. So salute the Crusader Nation, man. Salute the Beatbox, the plug always, man. All the love that they show us. Patreon, salute to the Crew Season Patreon. If you ain't tapped into the Patreon, that is another option that you can tap into, Patreon or the app. That's where a lot of the exclusive content ends up. I think that's it, man. I think that's it. We back on tour coming up pretty soon, September 14th. First show is Chicago. I will be there. We will be there. First show is Miami on the 14th. Pardon me. Chicago is on the 30th or something like that. At the end of the month, 28th, 30th, somewhere around there. But yeah, Miami first on the 14th, weekend of the 14th. Chicago weekend of the 28th. We're gonna be there. Exclusive merch will be sold at the show. That's not available everywhere else. So if y'all there, make sure y'all tap in, man. We appreciate your love. You got something before we get out of here?
No, just make sure y'all keep hitting that like button, that share button, turn your notifications on. Again, we coming every week. We dropping clips every week. We back with the full pods every week. So y'all just stay tuned, man. We back. We back, ramping it back up. And you're gonna see again, we got some stuff for y'all coming next year too. So this year, next year is just everything gonna be up. So as long as y'all locked in, as long as y'all tuned in, y'all gonna know all the announcements that's being made and things like that. So y'all lock in with us and we're gonna make sure we deliver for y'all.
So on that note, man, we up out of here. Appreciate y'all.